Hi everyone, this is Laura Lee, your instructor for HM2010, and I just wanted to take a few moments to go over the Week 2 Assignment A because I think that some students struggle with this one due to the calculations in it and the ratios, and it can be challenging, so I thought I would go through and kind of go over the expectations and where you can find some information in your readings that I think will be helpful for you. So, if you look at your readings under Week 2, it gives you the digital readings for Chapter 6 and Chapter 7. If you look at the assignment, there's a couple different things you're calculating in this. You're going to be calculating the operating margin ratio, the return on equity rate, and you're also going to be going over the debt to worth ratios. So number 1 actually can be found in Chapter 7. So if we go to Chapter 7, you'll have to scroll down a little bit to page 122, but it gives you the steps on how to find the operating margin and the return on equity. And it also gives you an example. If you scroll up, it gives you some different financial information about an imaginary medical practice, and it explains to you what numbers you're going to use when you're calculating the operating margin as well as the return on equity. All right, and then the next 2 questions deal with ratios, and we go over ratios in Chapter 6. So if you pull up the Chapter 6 reading, you'll have to scroll down a little bit to where it talks about things like quick ratios and debt to worth ratios. And so number 2 is a debt to worth ratio question, and this one's fairly straightforward. You're using the numbers that it gives you in question 2. It gives you the liabilities as well as the net worth, and so you're going to use that. You're going to plug it into this equation for a solvency ratio, and then you are going to answer you're going to put your answer in and make sure you put it to 2 decimals. So if you ended up with the answer 99.9%, you would put 0.99. All right. Then the next question is a tricky one, so I wanted to kind of go through because a lot of students miss this one. And what you're doing is you're calculating a ratio, and you're using everything that they are giving you in all 3 of these problems to help you calculate it. So you're going to calculate basically everything that's coming into the practice financially, including the net worth of the practice, and then you're going to calculate everything that's going out of the practice, which would be like the liabilities, as well as the operating expenses, and then you're going to divide those 2 numbers to get your ratio. So I'm not going to give you the answer, and I'm not going to tell you what numbers to put in, but basically, given this problem, the things that you're going to want to calculate include the revenues, the income, the assets, and the worth. That's basically everything coming into the practice. You're going to add all of that together, and then you're going to take the total liabilities and operating expenses and add those together, because operating expenses would be money that you're paying out for your business to function. So you might be paying staff members, you might be paying for certain equipment to help you out. So you're going to add those together, and then you're going to divide the 2 numbers. And you're going to divide the liabilities into the revenues, or the liabilities and the operating expenses into the money that the practice is bringing in. So I hope that helps. I know this is a tricky assignment. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, and have a great week.